Hi, this is Chandan Singh, and along with me is my project partner Akshay Mane. Today, we will walk you through the academic project we did using Yelp API and Google Maps API. So, whether you're traveling in a new city or you're searching for a new go to spot during a road trip, there's always something out there that you should be discovering. But where do you start? And when there are like so many places and so many options available. So, with the help of this app, you can get an abundant list of restaurants closest to you along your way as per your suited interest. So the way we have programmed our code, the result that the result that we obtain appears on a map, and as you find places that sound interesting to you, you can tap on them and view information like ratings and what the name of the restaurant is and how far it is located from your source point. Now to begin, the libraries that we used are mentioned here as you can see, and how to install particular libraries is given in our readme file. After the libraries, the APIs that we are using for this project is Google Maps API and Yelp API. And what we are trying to obtain from these two API is from Google Maps API, we are trying to get the coordinates of the source and the destination. And from the Yelp API, we are trying to get the restaurants near the source and the destination. As mentioned, we are using Google Maps and Yelp API. So to start with, we need the coordinates of a source and destination point. For that purpose, we began with the Google Maps API, and this is the code that we wrote to get the coordinate of source and the destination. The coordinates of this source is latitude and longitude is stored in a variable source underscore latitude and source underscore longitude, and similarly for destination it is stored under destination underscore latitude and destination underscore longitude. To move forward, the next step was to find the midpoint between the source and the destination, and for that purpose we used geographiclib.geodesic library, and we defined a function midpoint which gives us the midpoint between the source and the destination. Once we have the coordinates, the next step was to find the restaurants near the source, destination and the midpoint, and for that purpose we are using Yelp API. So here we have defined a function get hotels which uses the coordinate of latitude and longitude, and it gives us the list of all the restaurants that is near to us. After calling the function get hotel, we get the list of all the restaurants near our source point, destination point and the midpoint, and we have stored all the list in our respective variable. Later, we concatenated all the lists so that we have a complete list of all the restaurants we need to plot on the map. The further part of coding is all about plotting the restaurants on a map, and that is what is mentioned here. We have defined a function set value which gives us the restaurant in a fashion that it is easy to recognize and read. The next step was to show the arrow from source to destination, that is like which direction you're moving, and the code for that has been written under the function get underscore arrows. The next step is to connect the source and destination with the help of a line so that it is visually aesthetic. The last step here is actually to get the restaurant on the map, and in order to plot this on the map we are using the Folium library, and we are saving this map in HTML format which we can view. So here I will demonstrate you the output that we get after running the code. So as I press Control Enter, the first thing that the code asks for, where are you now, that is the source. So let's say we are in Buffalo, enter, and where do we want to go, say Syracuse. It gives us the coordinate, your current coordinate, that is the source coordinate, latitude and longitude, similarly for destination, and then it calculated the midpoint. Now here is the map that we obtained from Folium. Since it takes quite a time to load, so we have already saved this before, and I'll just take you there to show you. So as I zoom in, you can see our source point is Buffalo, and around the Buffalo city there are a lot of restaurants that the code has plotted. Here the green color indicates that the restaurant has a good rating, followed by orange which has the OK rating, whereas the red and given by thumbs down indicates that the restaurant has a bad rating. If you click on any of it, say here, if I click here, then it gives the pop-up and it gives you the detail of the restaurant, what's the name of the restaurant and where it is located, along with the address. Similarly, so this was the source point. As you go towards the direction of Syracuse, here is the midpoint. As you tap on this, you see it's a midpoint and it has restaurant around it. Just like Buffalo, the restaurants are divided into good, okay, and bad, which is color coded in green, orange, and red. Similarly, as you go towards Syracuse, you will get restaurants near the area of Syracuse. So with the help of this visualization, you can decide which restaurant to go to. Also, if you tap on this, it gives you the distance, like how far is it from your main point. So this 7720.0 meters means that you are this distance away from Syracuse. We have ran the code for other cities such as Minneapolis to Tampa, which you can see here. We have already saved the result. So if you zoom in on Minneapolis, you can see the restaurants nearby Minneapolis, and the arrow gives you the idea that we are moving from Minneapolis to Tampa. And similarly, you can find the restaurants near Tampa as well. So we found something strange when we ran different iteration considering different cities. For instance, for Portland and Cleveland, here you can see the middle point is quite far away from the line. Also, there are no restaurants near middle point. As you can see, there are no restaurants near the middle point. The possible explanation could be that this might be the hilly region, or there are no restaurants in our database to show on this. So based on this, there are several shortcomings in our project, and some of them are insufficient result for some location in API as we observed. The restaurants we saw on the map were not widely spread across the source and destination, and the possible solution could be to find the coordinates for 1/4 and 3/4 of the distance and plot the restaurants nearby. Also, Google API gives exact route from source to destination, but since the result the API return is in JSON format, the programming was complex to execute due to time constraints. So to conclude, our project gives us the best restaurant as per our desired choice, and we can use this as a framework for other businesses, not just limited to restaurants. Thank you.